Greetings everyone, I hope you're doing well, and for this one I'm testing Hell Is Us. So in the settings, for the main gameplay, I'm going to use all the quality settings at Ultra. Now I enabled reflex low latency, which grays out FPS limit. I set it to unlimited, and I tested it, and it is unlimited, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but I thought it's important to mention. And lastly, for DLSS, I use balance preset. It has a little bit unusual presets, which starts at ultra quality, of course DLAA, ultra quality, and goes all the way to ultra performance. So I'm not entirely sure at what resolution percentage it goes. Now for the gameplay, it's going to be rather a simple one. I think it's a little bit short demo version as well, so I'm not going to progress much into the story. This game is based on Unreal Engine 5, of course. Now unfortunately I'm not sure at what exactly version it's running on, but it's mostly smooth, so there's that at least. It's not completely flat in terms of frame times, but for the motion smoothness, I think it's serviceable and mostly fine. Now, one thing that I really don't like is when developers do not add additional options which toggles motion blur, chromatic aberration, and other post-processing effects. They just lump together with post-processing to presets and that's it. And I really do not like that. I want to turn off motion blur and chromatic aberration especially. And that's not an option, at least from the game. I believe there should be some kind of command line for that. But yeah, it's just extra FAFO and I really do not like that. Maybe, hopefully in the future, they will address that and add additional toggleable options which affects my mentioned features. At the end of the video I also going to show you how it performs at basically native 4K with DLAA, and I also tested offline without recording other DLSS presets. So at DLAA at 4K it runs at about 20 FPS. Using DLSS at ultra performance at 4K resolution, I get about 60 FPS and it looks pretty good, I must say. So maybe it uses newer DLSS version, because typically ultra performance even at 4K is really not great experience and I do not recommend, except in cases like these. So of course the game is very demanding. You could turn down the main graphical settings, but at least there is an option using DLSS with ultra performance mode. Now testing with completely turned down resolution and using ultra performance DLSS to try to at least make a CPU bottleneck to check the CPU limitations, and mostly unfortunately I couldn't force that, but I was getting at around 90 to 100 FPS. So it's pretty good, I guess. Again, it wasn't CPU bound fully, and I believe there was some performance left in the tank of my 5950X. And yeah, it's not a CPU destroyer like many other Unreal Engine 5 games, so that's nice to see, but it's very linear game with quite restrictive playable area. So it's not really open world RPG or something like that, so it shouldn't be really that CPU demanding. Now talking about catastrophical Unreal Engine 5 game projects, there has been released a game called Mind's Eye, I believe, which is in very rough shape at the moment. So I think it should be quite decent game, but it's a disaster in terms of optimization and bugs. So I'm not going to cover that for now, because it really needs fixes and patches and yeah, just bunch of that. So yeah, I'm going to hold out for that, and I don't know what I'm going to cover next, but we'll see, I guess. And for now, I'm going to leave you with the gameplay. As always, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye for now.
I hung them in the trees so my sons would stop getting...
You found me. Epsilon 12, right? I can't see shit. I have blood in my eyes. You must have honed in on my distress beacon.
Who are you?
I'm Sifo 451, Epsilon 11. I got separated from my unit. They're still down there behind that door. We were on an SSC. We got jumped. I'm not sure how I got here. All I remember is hearing that door shutting behind me. I must have triggered something. We need the key to the APC. We need to get the fuck out of here.
Who has the APC key?
The sergeant has the key. He's inside with the team. The Sarge is easy to spot. He's the one with a dark red poncho. Shit. I'm hurt pretty bad. I need to stop the bleeding. We have a med kit in the camp we set up in the woods west of here. We marked the trees to make it easier to navigate. Bring me the med kit, and I'll give you what you need to open the door.